Welcome, listener, to this audiobook summary of You Become What You Think by Justice O. Malcolm. Picture a quiet morning in a bustling city where the world hums with possibility, yet so many of us wake up feeling weighed down. There's a knot in our chest, a whisper of doubt that lingers like an uninvited guest. We dream of better days, of thriving careers, vibrant relationships, or simply a sense of peace, but something holds us back. This is where You Become What You Think by Justice O. Malcolm begins, in its introduction, meeting us right in the heart of our struggles. It's not about the external chaos of life, but the internal battle, the lack of power we feel over our own minds. Let's dive into this idea, exploring the problems people face and the real-world stories that show how our thoughts shape our reality. We noticed that 72% of you who listen to our video are not yet subscribed to the channel. Please help support the channel by hitting the subscribe button and like the video. Thanks for inspiring us to create more content. Imagine Sarah, a single mother in her 30s, sitting at her kitchen table after another exhausting day. Her job as a customer service rep feels like a treadmill, endless, draining, and leading nowhere. She wants to go back to school, to become a nurse, but every time she considers it, a voice creeps in. You're too old. You'll fail. Who are you to dream that big? Sarah's problem isn't just her demanding job or tight budget. It's the way her thoughts trap her in a cycle of self-doubt. Malcolm points out that this is a universal struggle. So many of us feel stuck, not because life is inherently cruel, but because we haven't yet learned to harness the power of our minds. Our thoughts, unchecked, become our reality, painting our world in shades of limitation. Across town, there's James, a talented graphic designer who's been passed over for promotions time and again. He sits in his cubicle, scrolling through social media, watching peers celebrate their successes. Why not me, he wonders, but deep down, he believes he's not good enough. His mind replays every mistake he's ever made, a client who wasn't satisfied, a project that missed the mark. These thoughts aren't just fleeting. They're chains, keeping him from pitching bold ideas or applying for that senior role he secretly covets. Malcolm argues that James's real obstacle isn't his workplace. It's his mental narrative, one that's convinced him he's destined to stay small. This lack of mental power isn't about intelligence or willpower alone. It's about awareness, Malcolm tells us. Most people don't realize their thoughts are like seeds, each one planting the potential for growth or stagnation. When we focus on fear, failure, or scarcity, we cultivate a reality that mirrors those feelings. A negative thought isn't just a moment. It's a signal to the universe, a vibration that shapes our emotions and actions. Sarah's hesitation to enroll in nursing school doesn't just keep her in her current job. It dims her confidence, making every step toward change feel impossible. James's self-criticism doesn't just bruise his ego. It stops him from taking risks that could redefine his career. But here's where Malcolm's introduction shines a light. This struggle is not the end of the story. He shares the example of Maya, a real estate agent who once felt paralyzed by anxiety. Every client meeting felt like a test. She was doomed to fail. Her mind was a storm of what-ifs. What if they don't trust me? What if I say the wrong thing? Her sales plummeted, not because she lacked skill, but because her thoughts eroded her presence. Then, Maya attended a workshop on mindfulness. She learned to pause, to notice her thoughts without letting them steer the ship. One day, before a big pitch, she replaced, "I'm going to mess this up," with "I'm prepared and capable." She visualized herself connecting with the client, closing the deal. That shift wasn't magic, it was power. Maya not only won the client, but began to see herself differently. Her thoughts became her allies, not her enemies. Malcolm also points to David, a factory worker who dreamed of starting his own business. For years, he told himself, "I don't have the money or the know-how." Those thoughts kept him clocking in and out, year after year, while his dream gathered dust. But a chance conversation with a mentor changed everything. David was introduced to the idea of visualization, picturing his business as if it already existed. He started small, imagining a food truck, the smell of his recipes filling the air, customers smiling. Each night, he'd focus on this image, letting it replace his doubts. Slowly, he took action, saving a little each month, researching permits. Today, David's food truck is a local favorite, not because he was handed success, but because he learned to think his way toward it. These stories aren't fairy tales. They're proof of what's possible when we reclaim our mental power. Malcolm's introduction doesn't sugarcoat life's challenges. Sarah's bills are real. James's workplace politics are tough. But the difference between staying stuck and breaking free lies in the mind. When we let negative thoughts run unchecked, they build walls around our potential. Yet, when we choose thoughts of possibility, resilience, and worth, we start dismantling those walls, brick by brick. Think about your own life for a moment. Where do you feel powerless? Is it a job that drains you, a relationship that feels strained, or a dream you've buried? Malcolm invites us to see that these aren't just external problems. They're reflections of our inner dialogue. The good news? You don't need a new life to start changing. You need a new thought. One seed, planted intentionally, can grow into a reality you never thought possible. As we wrap up this exploration, Malcolm's words linger. Your thoughts are the building blocks of your reality. Sarah's journey to nursing school began with believing she could learn. James's promotion started with daring to see himself as worthy. Maya and David transformed their lives not by escaping their problems, but by reshaping their minds. This is the power you become what you think promises, not a quick fix, but a profound shift. Your mind is waiting, ready to create a new story. All it takes is one thought, one choice, to begin. Chapter 1. Unlock the power of your thoughts. The book opens with a striking idea. Your thoughts are not just fleeting whispers. They're the architects of your reality. Malcolm compares the mind to a garden, where each thought is a seed you choose to nurture. Plant positivity, and you'll grow resilience and opportunity. Let negativity take root, and you'll find yourself tangled in weeds of doubt. This isn't just philosophy, it's grounded in neuroscience. Malcolm introduces neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to rewire itself based on what you think most often. Every positive thought strengthens pathways that make optimism and action feel natural, while negative ones deepen ruts of fear or hesitation. Picture Elena, a barista in a small-town cafe. She loves her job, but dreams of opening her own bakery. Yet, her days are clouded by thoughts like, I don't have what it takes, or it's too risky. These thoughts don't just dampen her mood. They stop her from saving money or sketching business plans. Elena feels stuck, not because her dream is impossible, but because her mind is cultivating doubt. Then, a regular customer, a retired entrepreneur, notices her talent and shares a simple idea. Start thinking as if the bakery already exists. Intrigued, Elena tries it. Each morning, she imagines kneading dough in her own shop, the aroma of fresh bread filling the air, customers smiling. She pairs this with affirmations. I am building my future. Slowly, her emotions shift. She feels energized, capable. She starts a savings jar labeled Bakery Fund and takes a free online course on small business management. Within a year, Elena leases a tiny storefront, her dream taking shape because she dared to plant new seeds in her mind. Malcolm's point is clear. Your thoughts influence your emotions, which drive your actions. Elena's story shows how choosing positivity isn't about ignoring reality. It's about creating a mental blueprint that guides you toward what's possible. It's like tuning a radio to a clear station. Focus on the right frequency, and the static of doubt fades away. Chapter 2. Identifying negative thought patterns. But before you can cultivate a thriving garden, Malcolm warns, you must clear the weeds, those negative thought patterns that choke your potential. These patterns, often rooted in fear, insecurity, or past pain, sneak into our minds like uninvited guests. They're not always loud. Sometimes they're quiet, persistent loops like, I'm not good enough, or I'll mess this up. Malcolm teaches us to spot them by noticing feelings of unease, anxiety, irritability, or a vague sense of being off. These are clues that your thoughts are working against you, shaping a reality you don't want. Consider Jamal, a high school teacher with a passion for writing. He's always wanted to publish a novel, but every time he sits down to write, his mind spirals. No one will read this. I'm not a real writer. These thoughts aren't random. They stem from a college professor who once dismissed his work as average. Unaware, Jamal internalized this, letting it grow into a pattern that stops him from submitting manuscripts or even finishing a draft. His stomach knots up when he opens his laptop, a physical sign of his mental block. Malcolm's advice would resonate with Jamal. Start by observing those thoughts. One evening, Jamal tries journaling, writing down what his mind says when he tries to create. He sees the pattern. "I'm not good enough" appears over and over. Curious, he asks himself, where did this come from? Is it true? Tracing it to that long-ago critique, he realizes it's not a fact, but a story he's carried. With this awareness, Jamal takes a small step. He joins a local writers group. There, he shares a short story, expecting rejection. Instead, the group praises his voice, sparking a new thought. Maybe I have something worth saying. That shift doesn't erase his doubts overnight, but it loosens their grip, letting him write with a bit more freedom each day. Malcolm emphasizes that identifying these patterns is like shining a flashlight into a dark corner. You can't change what you don't see. Jamal's journey shows that awareness is the first step to breaking free. By noticing the thoughts that loop like a broken record, you can question them, challenge them, and begin to choose differently. Chapter 3. Cultivating Positive Mental Habits. Malcolm begins with a call to action. To transform your life, you must nurture positive mental habits with the same diligence you'd give a cherished plant. This isn't about pretending problems don't exist. It's about facing them with optimism and proactivity. He likens negative thoughts to storm clouds that can darken your perspective, but positive habits, like gratitude, affirmations, and surrounding yourself with uplifting influences, act as sunlight, clearing the way for growth. These habits rewire your brain, making positivity not just a fleeting mood, but a way of being. Malcolm emphasizes starting small. Replace "I can't" with "I'll try." Celebrate tiny wins, and seek out environments that inspire you. Meet Priya, a nurse working long shifts in a busy hospital. Her days are a blur of charts and emergencies, and by night, she's exhausted, her mind stuck on thoughts like, "I'm barely keeping up." This negativity spills over. She snaps at her kids, skips meals, and feels disconnected from her dreams of one day leading a community health program. One evening, Priya stumbles across a podcast about gratitude. Skeptical but curious, she tries Malcolm's suggestion. Write down 3 things each day that spark joy. At first, it feels forced. Her list includes coffee stayed hot, patient smiled, and made it home safely. But over weeks, something shifts. Priya notices more moments of connection, a colleague's kind word, her daughter's laugh. She starts an affirmation, "I am strong and capable." To amplify this, she joins a local running group, trading the hospital's stress for fresh air and encouragement. These small habits, gratitude, affirmations, positive company, change her lens. Priya feels lighter, more present. She begins mentoring younger nurses, a step toward her dream role, because her thoughts now cultivate possibility, not limitation. Priya's story shows what Malcolm means. Positive habits don't erase life's challenges, but they give you the strength to meet them differently. By choosing thoughts that uplift, you build a mental foundation that supports your goals, one intentional seed at a time. Chapter 4. Tapping into the Subconscious Mind. Malcolm takes us deeper into the mysterious realm of the subconscious mind, a silent force that shapes our actions without us even noticing. Malcolm describes it as a sponge, soaking up beliefs and emotions from our past, driving reactions that feel automatic. Unlike the conscious mind, which debates and plans, the subconscious operates on instinct, fueled by what we've internalized over years. To change your reality, you must connect with this hidden ally, guiding it toward positive outcomes. Malcolm suggests mindfulness, paying attention to dreams, gut feelings, or sudden impulses, as a way to decode its messages. It's not about controlling the subconscious, but partnering with it, like a captain learning to trust the crew. Consider Marcus, a software developer who feels trapped in a cycle of burnout. He's skilled, but every project feels like a tightrope walk, his mind whispering, "You're going to crash." He reacts to feedback with defensiveness, alienating his team, and at night, he dreams of being chased through endless corridors. Marcus doesn't see the connection until a friend suggests journaling his thoughts. Following Malcolm's advice, he starts noting his dreams and reactions. The corridor dreams, he realizes, mirror his fear of failure, rooted in a childhood where mistakes meant harsh criticism. This is his subconscious at work, replaying old scripts. Marcus tries mindfulness, sitting quietly each morning, observing his breath and thoughts without judgment. He notices how his fear spikes before meetings, but instead of fighting it, he acknowledges it. This is just a feeling, not the truth. He also visualizes success, coding smoothly, collaborating with ease. Over months, Marcus's defensiveness softens. He asks for feedback proactively, and his team notices his calm confidence. A promotion follows, not because his skills changed, but because he aligned his subconscious with his conscious goals. Marcus's journey illustrates Malcolm's point. The subconscious isn't a rogue agent. It's a partner waiting to be guided. By listening to its signals and feeding it positive beliefs, you can steer your reality toward what you desire, not what you fear. Chapter 5. Visualizing your desired outcomes. The key to achieving your goals lies in seeing them clearly in your mind's eye. Visualization isn't just daydreaming. It's a deliberate practice of imagining your desired future with vivid detail, as if it's happening now. He explains that your brain doesn't distinguish sharply between a vivid mental image and reality. When you visualize success, you're training your mind to act in ways that make it happen. It's like rehearsing for a performance, building confidence and clarity with every scene. Malcolm urges us to picture not just the end goal, but the steps to get there, including challenges and how we'll overcome them. Consistency is key. Spend a few minutes daily immersed in this mental movie, and your actions will start aligning with your vision. Meet Aisha, a college student who dreams of becoming a veterinarian. Growing up in a low-income neighborhood, she's surrounded by skepticism. Vet school's too expensive, her family says. Stick to something practical. These doubts creep into Aisha's mind, making her question if she's cut out for such a demanding path. One day, inspired by a biology teacher who shares Malcolm's ideas, Aisha tries visualization. Each night, she closes her eyes and imagines herself in a white coat, examining a fluffy puppy in a bright clinic. She feels the stethoscope around her neck, hears the dog's heartbeat, smells the antiseptic air. She sees herself studying late, acing exams, even facing rejections, but persisting. At first, it feels like a fantasy, but Aisha commits to 10 minutes daily. Something shifts. She starts researching scholarships with new focus, joins a pre-vet club, and volunteers at a local animal shelter. The challenges are real, long applications, tough courses. But when Aisha hits obstacles, her mental image of that clinic pulls her forward. 2 years later, she earns a full scholarship to vet school, her visualized dream now a tangible path. Aisha's story shows what Malcolm means. Visualization isn't magic. It's a bridge between where you are and where you want to be, built one detailed image at a time. Aisha's journey reflects Malcolm's teaching that visualization primes your brain for action. By seeing her goals so clearly, she didn't just dream. She moved, step by step, toward making it real. It's a reminder that what you hold in your mind shapes the choices you make in the world. Chapter 6. Affirmations for Transformative Change. Malcolm introduces affirmations as the words that give voice to your vision, anchoring it in your subconscious. These positive, present-tense statements, like, I am confident, or I attract success, aren't just cheerleading. They're tools to rewire how you see yourself. By repeating affirmations, you challenge negative beliefs, replacing them with truths that align with your goals. Malcolm explains that affirmations work best when they're personal, stated as if they're already true, and paired with emotion. They're like a compass, guiding your mind through doubt towards certainty. He encourages integrating them into daily routines. Say them in the mirror, write them down, feel them deeply, to make them a living part of your reality. Consider Javier, a middle-aged accountant who feels invisible at work. He's skilled but shy, always overlooked for leadership roles. His inner dialogue is harsh. I'm not a leader. I don't have what it takes. These thoughts keep him quiet in meetings, reinforcing his belief that he's not cut out for more. Then, Javier attends a workshop where Malcolm's ideas are shared. He's skeptical but intrigued by affirmations. He crafts one that feels bold. I am a confident leader who inspires others. At first, saying it aloud feels awkward, like wearing a suit that doesn't fit. But Javier persists, repeating it each morning while brushing his teeth, picturing himself speaking up, guiding a team. He pairs it with small actions, asking a question in a meeting, offering an idea. The first time he speaks, his voice shakes, but his boss nods thoughtfully. Emboldened, Javier keeps going. He visualizes leading a project, then volunteers for one. His affirmation, "I am a confident leader," starts to feel true, not because he's pretending, but because he's becoming it. Within a year, Javier is promoted to team lead, his reality transformed by words he chose to believe. Javier's story embodies Malcolm's point. Affirmations don't just describe your reality, they help create it. By speaking his goal into existence, Javier rewired his self-image, turning a quiet accountant into a leader, one intentional word at a time. Connecting the dots. Visualization paints the picture, and affirmations give it voice. Together, they form a powerful practice for reshaping your reality. Aisha's visualization of her vet clinic didn't just keep her motivated, it guided her actions, from scholarships to volunteering, making her dream feel inevitable. Javier's affirmations didn't erase his shyness overnight, but they gave him the courage to act despite it, building a new identity as a leader. Malcolm's genius lies in showing how these tools work in tandem. Visualization sets the destination, affirmations fuel the journey. Pause for a moment and think about your own life. What do you long to achieve? Maybe it's a new career, like Aisha's, or a bolder version of yourself, like Javier's. What picture could you paint in your mind each day? What words could you speak to make it real? Malcolm's message is clear. You don't need permission or perfection to start. Aisha was no prodigy. She was a student with a vision. Javier wasn't born charismatic. He built confidence through choice. Your mind is a studio, ready to create something new. Picture your goal vividly, speak it boldly, and watch how your thoughts begin to carve a path forward. Visualization and affirmations are more than techniques. They're acts of faith in your own potential. Aisha didn't know she'd win that scholarship, but she saw herself succeeding and acted accordingly. Javier didn't feel like a leader at first, but he spoke it until he became it. Wherever you stand, these chapters offer a truth. Your thoughts are your power. Paint a vision, give it words, and let them guide you toward a reality you've always imagined. Chapter 7. Overcoming Limiting Beliefs. Malcolm begins by shining a light on limiting beliefs. Those deep-seated notions like, "I'm not enough," or "I don't deserve success," that act like invisible chains. Often born from past experiences or societal messages, these beliefs masquerade as truth, shaping our reality in ways that keep us small. To break free, Malcolm offers a clear path. Identify the belief, challenge its validity, and replace it with one that empowers you. This isn't about denying your flaws or ignoring reality. It's about choosing a perspective that opens doors instead of closing them. He reminds us that these beliefs aren't facts. They're stories we've accepted, and we have the power to rewrite them. Picture Lena, a graphic designer in her late 20s, who dreams of freelancing full-time. She's talented, with a portfolio that sparkles, but every time she considers leaving her stable agency job, a thought stops her cold. "I'll never make it on my own." This belief took root in high school, when a teacher dismissed her art as not serious enough, planting a seed of self-doubt that grew over years. Lena's fear manifests as procrastination. She tweaks her website endlessly, never launching it, convinced failure is inevitable. One day, a mentor shares Malcolm's approach, prompting Lena to journal her thoughts. She writes, "I'll fail as a freelancer," and pauses. Where did this come from? Tracing it to that teacher's comment, she asks, "Is this true? Does it help me?" The answer is no. Lena challenges the belief. Plenty of freelancers thrive, and her portfolio has earned praise. She crafts a new belief. "I have the skills to succeed independently." To test it, she takes a small freelance gig on the side. The client loves her work, boosting her confidence. Step by step, Lena builds a client base, eventually leaving her job to freelance full-time. Her reality shifts, not because the world changed, but because she rewrote the story her mind told. Lena's journey shows what Malcolm means. Limiting beliefs are like outdated maps, guiding you to places you no longer need to go. By questioning and replacing them, you chart a new course, one that leads to possibility. Chapter 8. Mindfulness and Present Moment Focus. Malcolm introduces mindfulness as a tool to anchor us in the now, where our true power lies. Mindfulness isn't about emptying your mind. It's about observing your thoughts without judgment, like watching clouds drift across a sky. This practice clears the mental clutter of regrets about the past or worries about the future, letting you focus on the present moment. Malcolm explains that when you're mindful, you gain control over your thoughts, choosing ones that align with your desired reality. It's mental hygiene, washing away negativity and self-sabotage to reveal clarity and purpose. Consider Raj, a single father and sales manager who feels overwhelmed by life's demands. His days are a blur of quotas, school pickups, and bills, leaving him anxious and short-tempered. His mind races with thoughts like, "I'm failing everyone," or "What if I lose my job?" These worries don't just stress him. They make him snap at his son and second-guess his work, creating a cycle of tension. A coworker, noticing Raj's strain, suggests mindfulness, sharing Malcolm's advice to start small. Raj tries 5 minutes each morning, sitting quietly, focusing on his breath. At first, his mind wanders, deadlines, grocery lists, but he gently brings it back, noticing thoughts without chasing them. He starts to see patterns. His anxiety spikes when he predicts worst-case scenarios. During a tense sales meeting, Raj pauses, breathes, and observes his fear instead of reacting. This small act grounds him. He speaks calmly, impressing his team. At home, he practices being present with his son, listening fully instead of worrying. Over months, Raj's stress doesn't vanish, but it loosens its grip. He earns a promotion and feels closer to his son, his reality shaped by moments of mindful choice. Raj's story illustrates Malcolm's teaching. The present is where you steer your thoughts. By staying mindful, you don't just react. You create, building a reality that reflects your intentions, not your fears. One frees you from the past, the other roots you in the now. Lena's story shows how confronting limiting beliefs can unlock a future you once thought impossible, turning self-doubt into self-belief. Raj's journey reveals mindfulness as a daily practice that transforms chaos into clarity, letting you shape your reality moment by moment. Malcolm's wisdom bridges these ideas. To change your life, you must release what holds you back and embrace what's here, now. Think about your own path for a moment. What beliefs are you carrying, like Lena's fear of failure, that no longer fit who you're becoming? And how often do you let your mind drift to what was or what might be, missing the power of now, like Raj once did? Malcolm's message is both gentle and urgent. You don't need to be perfect to start. Lena didn't launch her freelance career in a day. She questioned one belief, then acted. Raj didn't banish stress overnight. He took one breath, then another. Your thoughts are your tools, and today is your canvas. Let go of an old story, pause to notice this moment, and watch how your reality begins to shift. These chapters are a reminder that transformation isn't a distant goal. It's a choice you make right now. Lena rewrote her future by believing in her talent. Raj reclaimed his life by living fully in each moment. Wherever you are, your mind is ready to create something new. Release what weighs you down, stay present, and let your thoughts guide you toward a reality that shines with possibility. Chapter 9. Harnessing the Law of Attraction. Malcolm opens with a universal principle, the law of attraction, which states that like attracts like. Your thoughts are magnets, pulling in experiences that match their frequency. Positivity begets opportunity, negativity draws struggle. This isn't about wishful thinking or ignoring pain. It's about consciously choosing to focus on what you want rather than what you fear. Malcolm explains that emotions amplify this process. Feeling gratitude or confidence strengthens your thought's pull, while doubt or anger clouds it. The key is awareness. Notice your thoughts, acknowledge negative ones, then pivot to possibility. It's a practice of patience and belief, not a quick fix, requiring you to trust that your inner world shapes your outer reality. Meet Sophia, a small-town librarian who feels trapped in a life of routine. She loves books but yearns for adventure, traveling, writing, living boldly. Yet her thoughts often dwell on lack. I don't have enough money, or I'm stuck here forever. These ideas keep her scrolling travel blogs enviously, never acting. One day, Sophia reads about the law of attraction in a library book, sparking curiosity. Inspired by Malcolm's advice, she starts noticing her thoughts. When "I can't afford to travel" arises, she pauses, feels the frustration, then shifts. "I'm open to new opportunities." She begins a gratitude journal, listing joys like a quiet library morning or a reader's smile, feeling abundance in what she has. Sophia visualizes herself exploring vibrant markets abroad, notebook in hand, writing stories. She doesn't know how it'll happen, but she trusts. A month later, she stumbles across a grant for librarians to attend an international conference. Emboldened, she applies, weaving her passion for storytelling into her proposal. To her shock, she wins, not just a trip, but a chance to lead a workshop. Sophia's journey begins, not because she forced the universe, but because she aligned her thoughts with possibility, attracting a path where none seemed to exist. Sophia's story captures Malcolm's point. The law of attraction works when you focus on what you want, feel it deeply, and stay open to unexpected ways it might arrive. It's about believing your thoughts have power, even when the path isn't clear. Chapter 10. Aligning your thoughts and actions. Malcolm builds on this, emphasizing that thoughts alone aren't enough. Your actions must match them to bring your vision to life. Malcolm uses a vivid analogy. Thoughts are the architect's blueprint, but actions are the builders who construct the reality. If your thoughts aim high but your actions falter, say, dreaming of health but skipping exercise, you're sending mixed signals, like rowing a boat in opposite directions. Alignment means discipline. Let your daily choices reflect your mental vision, creating a synergy that propels you forward. It's not always easy, but the effort transforms not just your outcomes, but how you see yourself. Consider Ethan, a recent graduate who dreams of launching a tech startup. His mind buzzes with ideas for an app to connect local volunteers, inspired by his own community service. He visualizes pitching to investors, users downloading his app, communities thriving. But at home, Ethan scrolls job boards, applying for safe corporate roles, thinking, I need stability first. His actions clash with his vision, stalling his dream. A college friend, familiar with Malcolm's ideas, challenges him. You're thinking like an entrepreneur, but acting like an employee. Ethan reflects, realizing fear of failure is holding him back. He decides to align his actions with his thoughts. He keeps visualizing his app's success, but adds concrete steps. Coding a prototype after work, joining a startup meetup, pitching his idea to a mentor. Each action feels scary, but it reinforces his belief. I'm building something real. At a meetup, Ethan connects with a coder who joins his project, then a small grant funds their prototype. The app launches locally, gaining traction, not overnight success, but a real start. Ethan's reality shifts because he matched his blueprint with builders, his thoughts with deeds. Ethan's journey shows Malcolm's truth. Alignment isn't just doing more. It's doing what reflects your inner vision, turning dreams into tangible steps forward. One teaches you to magnetize your desires with focused thought. The other grounds those desires in deliberate action. Sophia's story illustrates how the law of attraction opens doors when you shift from lack to possibility, trusting that your thoughts draw opportunities. Ethan's experience shows that even the clearest vision needs action to take root. Alignment turns intention into reality. Malcolm's wisdom ties these together. Your thoughts set the frequency. Your actions tune the signal, creating a harmony that shapes your world. Pause and reflect on your own life. What are you calling in with your thoughts, like Sophia's dreams of adventure? Are you open to possibility, or stuck on what's missing? And are your actions, like Ethan's, building toward your vision, or pulling you elsewhere? Malcolm's message is empowering. You don't need to be perfect or have all the answers. Sophia didn't know how she'd travel. She started with gratitude and trust. Ethan wasn't a tech mogul. He took one step, then another. Your thoughts and actions are your tools, ready to shape today's reality into tomorrow's dreams. These chapters are a call to believe and build. Sophia attracted adventure by thinking abundantly, then seizing the grant that appeared. Ethan created his startup by acting on his vision, even when it scared him. Wherever you are, your mind and hands are ready to work together. Focus on what you want, take one aligned step, and watch your reality begin to resonate with the life you're meant to live. Chapter 11. Manifesting Abundance and Prosperity. Malcolm begins by redefining abundance, not as a pile of cash or possessions, but as a state of fullness in whatever matters to you. Love, opportunities, peace. Prosperity, too, is personal. Maybe it's a thriving career, a rich family life, or simply feeling enough. To manifest these, he says, you must first define what they mean to you, then align your thoughts with expectation, believing good things are not just possible, but on their way. This isn't about ignoring lack. It's about choosing to focus on potential, creating an energy that attracts more of what you seek. Malcolm emphasizes gratitude and visualization. By appreciating what you have and picturing what you want, you shift your mind from scarcity to possibility, magnetizing outcomes that reflect your focus. Meet Clara, a part-time yoga instructor in a bustling city. She loves teaching but struggles financially. Her thoughts often stuck on bills and comparisons to successful peers. I'll never have enough, she thinks, and this mindset keeps her taking low-paying gigs, feeling drained. One evening, Clara attends a mindfulness class where Malcolm's ideas are shared. Intrigued, she redefines abundance, not just money, but time with friends, the joy of movement, creative freedom. She starts a gratitude practice, noting daily blessings, a student's breakthrough, a sunny walk, a shared meal. Clara visualizes a life where she teaches thriving classes, her studio filled with laughter, her bank account steady. She feels this vision, confidence, ease, and lets it guide her. Instead of dwelling on lack, she expects opportunities. Soon, a community center offers her a regular class slot. Clara promotes it passionately, and students flock, drawn by her warmth. Within a year, she's teaching full-time, her income stable, her heart full. Clara's abundance grew not because money fell from the sky, but because she thought abundantly, attracting a reality that matched her vision. Clara's story embodies Malcolm's teaching. Abundance starts in the mind. By focusing on what she had and expecting more, she created a flow of opportunities, proving that what you nurture within grows without. Chapter 12. The Mind-Body Connection. Malcolm delves into the intimate dance between mind and body, where thoughts don't just shape your mood, they ripple through every cell. Malcolm explains that negative thoughts, like stress or fear, trigger hormones like cortisol, raising blood pressure or weakening immunity. Positive thoughts, conversely, boost healing, releasing feel-good chemicals like serotonin. This connection isn't just about illness, it's about wellness, where practices like meditation or mindful movement strengthen the bond between mind and body. Malcolm urges us to listen to our body's signals, tension, fatigue, as messages from the mind, guiding us to adjust our thoughts for holistic health. Consider Amir, a construction foreman who prides himself on hard work but battles chronic back pain. Doctors say it's strain, but pills and rest don't fully help. Amir's mind is a storm of worry. If I can't work, I'm nothing, or this pain will never end. These thoughts tighten his muscles, worsening the ache. A coworker, noticing Amir's strain, shares a book with Malcolm's ideas. Skeptical but desperate, Amir tries meditation, sitting for 5 minutes daily, focusing on his breath. At first, his mind races, deadlines, fears, but he persists, noticing how stress clenches his back. He starts visualizing his body strong, pain easing, picturing himself lifting beams with ease. Amir also listens to his body. Fatigue signals he's pushing too hard, mentally and physically. He adds yoga stretches, slow and mindful, feeling his thoughts calm as his muscles loosen. Over months, the pain doesn't vanish, but it softens, manageable. Amir takes breaks without guilt, delegates tasks, and feels more present with his family. His health improves not just because he stretched, but because he shifted his thoughts from fear to care, aligning mind and body in harmony. Amir's journey shows Malcolm's truth. Your thoughts touch every part of you. By choosing wellness in your mind, you nurture it in your body, creating a reality where both thrive. One expands your vision to embrace abundance. The other grounds it in the physical reality of your body. Clara's story illustrates how defining and expecting prosperity, beyond just money, can attract a life rich with meaning, proving that thought shapes opportunity. Amir's experience reveals the mind-body connection as a two-way street, where calming the mind heals the body, and listening to the body guides the mind. Malcolm's wisdom weaves these together. What you focus on grows, and your thoughts are felt in every fiber of your being. Reflect on your own river for a moment. What does abundance mean to you? Like Clara's blend of freedom and connection. Are you focusing on what's missing, or what's possible? And how's your body speaking to you? like Amir's pain signaling stress. Malcolm's message is clear. You don't need a perfect life to start. Clara began with a notebook and gratitude, building abundance from within. Amir started with a breath, easing his pain through mindfulness. Your thoughts are your current, your body your vessel, ready to carry you toward a fuller reality. These chapters are an invitation to think big and feel deeply. Clara attracted a thriving career by believing in enough. Amir reclaimed his health by aligning his mind with his body's needs. Wherever you are, your thoughts can spark abundance. Your body can echo wellness. Focus on what you want, listen to what you feel, and let your mind and body flow together toward a life that shines with possibility. Chapter 13. Developing an empowered mindset. An empowered mindset begins with believing you can shape your thoughts and emotions to steer your reality. It's not about suppressing feelings or pretending life is perfect. It's about acknowledging your inner world and choosing how to respond. This mindset requires awareness, self-compassion, and action. Malcolm suggests observing your thought patterns without judgment, treating setbacks with kindness, and behaving as if you're already the person you aspire to be. Surround yourself with positivity, people, places, experiences that reinforce your growth, and your thoughts will align with your potential. It's a journey of progress, not perfection, where every choice strengthens your sense of agency. Picture Maya, a retail worker in her 30s who feels invisible in her job. She's creative, with ideas for improving store displays, but her thoughts hold her back. No one cares what I think. This belief, rooted in years of being overlooked, keeps her silent, her ideas unspoken. Maya's frustration grows until a coworker shares Malcolm's ideas about empowerment. Curious, she starts noticing her thoughts, jotting them in a notebook after shifts. She sees the pattern, "I'm not important," and traces it to childhood, where her voice often went unheard. Instead of berating herself, Maya practices self-compassion, whispering, "It's okay to feel this way, but I can choose differently." She crafts an affirmation, "My ideas matter." To act on it, she visualizes sharing a display concept with her manager, feeling confident. The first time she speaks up, her voice trembles, but her manager listens, intrigued. Maya keeps going, suggesting small changes that get noticed. Soon, she's tasked with redesigning the store's front window, her creativity shining. Within a year, Maya's promoted to assistant manager, not because she was born confident, but because she chose thoughts and actions that empowered her to grow. Maya's story reflects Malcolm's teaching. An empowered mindset is built by believing in your ability to change, acting despite doubt, and nurturing your progress with kindness. It's about owning your thoughts to shape a reality where you stand tall. Chapter 14. Embracing a growth mindset. Malcolm introduces the growth mindset, a concept inspired by psychologist Carol Dweck, which holds that abilities can improve through effort and learning. Unlike a fixed mindset, where you see talent as static, "I'm just not good at this," a growth mindset views challenges as chances to evolve. Malcolm explains that setbacks aren't failures, but feedback, guiding you to refine your approach. This mindset requires stepping outside your comfort zone, risking mistakes, and seeing effort as the key to mastery. It's not just for skills, it's a way of life, fostering personal growth by trusting that you can shape your reality through dedication. Consider Jamal, a middle-aged delivery driver who dreams of becoming a chef. He loves cooking for his family, but his mind says, "I'm too old to start over. I'm not cut out for it." This fixed mindset keeps him driving routes, his passion simmering on the back burner. One day, Jamal's daughter shows him a cooking video that mentions Malcolm's growth mindset ideas. Intrigued, he reflects on his belief. Is it true I can't learn? He recalls teaching himself to fix cars, proof he's capable. Jamal decides to try, starting small. He enrolls in a weekend cooking class, nervous but open. The first dish flops, too much salt, but instead of quitting, he asks the instructor for tips, thinking, "Mistakes help me grow." He visualizes mastering recipes, running a small catering side hustle. Jamal practices nightly, experimenting with spices, learning from every burnt pan. He shares dishes at community events, earning praise. A local cafe owner tries his food and offers him a part-time prep cook job. Jamal takes it, balancing driving while learning. Within 2 years, he's a full-time cook, his dream unfolding, not because he was a natural, but because he embraced effort as his path forward. Jamal's journey shows Malcolm's point. A growth mindset turns "I can't" into "I can learn." By seeing challenges as opportunities, you build a reality where growth, not limitation, defines you. One fuels your confidence to shape your thoughts. The other equips you to grow through effort. Maya's story illustrates how an empowered mindset transforms silence into voice, showing that self-belief and action can redefine your role in the world. Jamal's journey reveals the growth mindset as a lens that turns obstacles into stepping stones, proving that dedication can unlock dreams at any age. Malcolm's wisdom ties these together. To become what you think, you must believe in your power and trust in your capacity to evolve. Pause and reflect on your own hilltop. What thoughts hold you back, like Maya's fear of being unheard? Can you choose one, like she did, and act as if it's already fading? And where do you feel stuck, like Jamal once did, thinking you're not good enough? What's one small step you could take to learn to grow? Malcolm's message is clear. You don't need to be flawless to start. Maya wasn't a manager. She spoke up, one trembling word at a time. Jamal wasn't a chef. He burned dishes and kept going. Your mind is your spark, ready to light the way. These chapters are a call to claim your power and embrace change. Maya reshaped her reality by believing her voice mattered. Jamal built a new career by trusting he could learn. Wherever you are, your thoughts can fuel confidence. Your efforts can foster growth. Choose one empowering thought. Take one brave step, and watch your reality begin to soar toward the life you're meant to live. Chapter 15. Releasing Emotional Baggage. Malcolm begins with a gentle truth. Emotional baggage, old hurts, grudges, or fears, can anchor us to a reality we've outgrown. These feelings, often tied to past experiences, feel like part of who we are, their familiarity both painful and comforting. To move forward, Malcolm says, we must acknowledge these emotions without letting them define us. This isn't about forgetting or condoning pain. It's about forgiving, not for others, but for ourselves, to reclaim our power. He suggests journaling to trace emotions to their roots and practicing forgiveness as a release, freeing space for new stories. By letting go, we reshape our thoughts, creating a reality unburdened by yesterday's weight. Picture Elena, a school counselor in her 40s, who carries a quiet wound. Years ago, her best friend betrayed her trust, spreading rumors that cost Elena a job she loved. The sting lingers. Every time she sees a happy friendship post online, her mind snaps to "people always let you down." This belief makes her guarded, keeping colleagues at arm's length, her life lonelier than she'd admit. One day, Elena attends a workshop where Malcolm's ideas are shared. Hesitant, she tries journaling, writing about her anger and hurt. She traces it to that betrayal, realizing she's let it color every relationship since. Following Malcolm's advice, she acknowledges her pain. It hurt, and that's okay. Instead of pushing it away, she sits with it, then asks, does this serve me now? The answer is no. Elena writes a letter to her old friend, not to send, but to release, forgiving her, not because she deserves it, but because Elena deserves peace. She visualizes herself open, trusting, surrounded by warmth. Slowly, she starts joining colleagues for coffee, sharing ideas, laughing. A new friend emerges, kind and genuine, and Elena feels a shift, not just in her circle, but in her heart. Her reality brightens because she let go of a story that no longer fit. Elena's journey shows Malcolm's point. Releasing baggage isn't erasing the past. It's choosing a present unshadowed by it. By forgiving, you free your thoughts to shape a reality of connection, not isolation. Chapter 16. Practicing Gratitude and Appreciation. Malcolm shifts to a practice that Malcolm calls a superpower, gratitude. By focusing on what you appreciate, you train your mind to see abundance, crowding out negativity. He cites neuroscience. Gratitude boosts serotonin, lifting your mood and rewiring your brain for positivity. It's not about ignoring hardship, but finding joy in the small things, a sunrise, a kind word, that add up to a life of enough. Malcolm suggests a daily gratitude journal, listing 3 things you're thankful for, no matter how simple. Over time, this shifts your lens, making abundance not just a hope, but a habit. Consider Tarek, a mechanic in a struggling auto shop. Work is slow, bills pile up, and his thoughts spiral. Nothing goes right for me. This mindset sours his days. He's curt with customers, detached at home. One night, Tarek's sister shares Malcolm's gratitude idea, saying it helped her through tough times. Tarek scoffs, but, desperate for a change, tries it. He grabs a notebook, feeling silly, and writes, "Shop stayed open today, had a decent lunch, my kid hugged me." The next day, he adds, "Fixed a car right, heard a good song, slept okay." At first, it's just words, but soon Tarek notices more. Customers' grateful nod, his son's chatter, a quiet evening. His journal fills, helped a stranger, laughed with a coworker, felt okay. Gratitude shifts his focus. He smiles more, chats with customers, even suggests a shop discount that brings in new business. Within months, the shop stabilizes, and Tarek feels lighter, more connected. His reality isn't perfect, but it's richer, not because his problems vanished, but because he chose to see what's good. Tarek's story illustrates Malcolm's truth. Gratitude doesn't change your circumstances overnight. It changes how you experience them, building a reality where joy grows from the smallest seeds. One clears the past's weight, the other fills the present with light. Elena's story shows how releasing emotional baggage, through acknowledgement and forgiveness, frees you to create a reality of trust and connection. Tarek's journey reveals gratitude as a daily choice that shifts your lens from lack to enough, attracting more of what uplifts you. Malcolm's wisdom ties these together. To become what you think, you must let go of old stories and embrace the abundance already here. Pause and reflect on your own lake. What baggage are you carrying, like Elena's hurt, that you could gently release? And what small joys, like Tarek's hug from his kid, could you notice today? Malcolm's message is clear. You don't need a clean slate to start. Elena didn't erase her betrayal. She forgave to move forward. Tarek didn't need wealth. He found riches in what he had. Your thoughts are your power, ready to reshape now. These chapters are an invitation to lighten your load and see anew. Elena built a brighter reality by letting go of distrust. Tarek found abundance by appreciating the everyday. Wherever you are, you can release one old hurt, note one small gratitude, and watch your reality ripple with freedom and fullness, reflecting the life you're ready to live. Chapter 17. Incorporating Meditation and Reflection. Malcolm begins by presenting meditation and reflection as twin pillars of self-awareness, tools to understand and guide your thoughts. Meditation isn't about silencing your mind. It's about observing it, watching thoughts flow without clinging to them, creating a calm space to see your inner patterns. Reflection, meanwhile, is a deliberate look back, evaluating your actions and experiences to learn and grow. Together, they build a mindset that's not just reactive but intentional, shaping your reality with purpose. Malcolm suggests starting small, 5 minutes of mindful breathing, a journal entry on your day, knowing that consistency, not perfection, brings change. Over time, these practices reveal how your thoughts influence your life, empowering you to choose ones that align with your goals. Picture Priya, a graphic designer juggling deadlines and parenting her young son. Her days are chaotic, her mind a whirlwind of "I'm behind" and "I can't keep up." This mental noise leaves her frazzled, snapping at her son, missing project details. One evening, Priya's friend shares Malcolm's ideas about meditation. Skeptical but exhausted, she tries it. 5 minutes before bed, sitting still, focusing on her breath. Her mind races, client emails, grocery lists, but she gently returns to the inhale, exhale. After a week, Priya notices a pattern. Her stress peaks when she predicts failure. She adds reflection, jotting notes after meditating. Today, I rushed and forgot a file. Next time I'll pause. This duo, meditation's calm, reflection's insight, shifts her. During a tense workday, Priya breathes deeply, catching her "I'm failing" thought before it spirals. She adjusts, finishes her project, and feels steady. At home, she reflects on yelling at her son, choosing patience next time. Over months, Priya's chaos softens. Her work sharpens. Her bond with her son deepens. Not because life slowed, but because she learned to see and steer her thoughts. Priya's story shows Malcolm's teaching. Meditation and reflection don't erase problems. They give you clarity to shape your reality, one mindful moment at a time. Chapter 18. Reframing Challenges as Opportunities. Malcolm offers a transformative lens. Reframe challenges not as roadblocks, but as chances to grow. Malcolm explains that reframing isn't denial. It's a conscious choice to see difficulties in a constructive light. A missed goal isn't failure, it's feedback. A tough situation isn't a dead end, it's a lesson. This shift changes how you think and respond, building resilience and empowerment. Malcolm suggests asking, "What can I learn?" instead of "Why me?" It's a skill honed with practice, turning life's inevitable bumps into pathways forward. Consider Leo, a barista with ambitions to manage his cafe. He's diligent, but when a promotion goes to a newer hire, Leo's gut reaction is, "I'm not good enough." This thought stings. He sulks, avoids his boss, dreads shifts. Then, Leo hears Malcolm's reframing idea from a podcast. He pauses. What if this isn't rejection but a chance? He reflects. Maybe he's been too quiet, not showing his leadership. Instead of "Why me?" he asks, "What can I learn?" Leo visualizes himself managing, confident, and approaches his boss. "I'd love feedback to grow." She suggests he lead a shift to prove himself. Nervous but determined, Leo reframes the pressure. "This is my shot to shine." He organizes the team, handles a rush, and earns praise. A month later, another manager spot opens, and Leo gets it. Not because he avoided the setback, but because he saw it as a doorway, stepping through with new skills and belief. Leo's journey reflects Malcolm's truth. Reframing turns obstacles into opportunities, reshaping your reality by how you choose to see it. Meditation and reflection ground you in awareness, while reframing lifts you toward growth. Priya's story shows how stillness and hindsight can calm a stormy mind, guiding her to a reality of balance and connection. Leo's experience reveals reframing as a tool to turn disappointment into action, building a path to his goals. Malcolm's wisdom weaves these together. To become what you think, you must see clearly and choose wisely, using every moment, quiet or challenging, as a chance to evolve. Pause and reflect on your own growth. What thoughts rush through you, like Priya's stress, that you could observe and guide? And what challenge, like Leo's missed promotion, could you reframe as a lesson? Malcolm's message is clear. You don't need a perfect mind to start. Priya wasn't zen. She breathed through chaos, 1 minute at a time. Leo wasn't fearless. He reframed doubt into drive. Your thoughts are your roots, ready to deepen and stretch. These chapters are an invitation to find clarity and seize possibility. Priya shaped a steadier reality by meditating on her patterns. Leo built a new role by seeing setbacks as setups. Wherever you are, you can sit with one thought, reframe one. Chapter 19. Cultivating Self-Love and Acceptance. Malcolm opens with a gentle truth. Self-love is the soil where transformation grows. It's not about ignoring flaws or chasing perfection. It's about accepting yourself with compassion, speaking kindly to your own heart. Our self-talk shapes our subconscious, influencing how we act and what we attract. Malcolm suggests listening to your inner voice. Is it harsh, critical, or loving? He encourages acknowledging weaknesses without judgment, seeing them as stepping stones, and affirming your worth daily. This practice isn't instant. It's a journey of intention, building a reality where you feel enough, not because you've fixed yourself, but because you've embraced who you are. Picture Aisha, a nurse in her late 20s, who feels like she's failing at life. She's skilled at her job, but berates herself constantly. "I'm too slow. I should be married by now. I'm not enough." This self-talk, rooted in years of comparing herself to others, dims her confidence, making her withdraw from friends and shy away from new opportunities. One day, Aisha's coworker shares Malcolm's self-love ideas during a break. Curious, she tries listening to her thoughts, jotting them down after shifts. The harshness stuns her. "I'd never talk to a patient this way." She starts small, replacing "I'm a mess" with "I'm doing my best," whispering it in the mirror. It feels forced, but Aisha persists, visualizing herself strong, capable, worthy. She acknowledges her flaws. Sometimes she's late, she's single, but with kindness. "That's okay. I'm growing." Slowly, her posture shifts. She stands taller, smiles more. Aisha joins a book club, something she'd avoided, fearing judgment. There, she connects, her warmth drawing others in. Within a year, she's mentoring new nurses, her reality reflecting a quiet confidence. Not because she became perfect, but because she learned to love herself as is. Aisha's story shows Malcolm's point. Self-love isn't a prize you earn. It's a choice that reshapes your thoughts, blooming into a reality where you shine as you are. Chapter 20. Surrounding yourself with positive influences. Malcolm shifts outward, emphasizing the power of your environment. Malcolm teaches that the people around you mold your thoughts. Positive influences inspire growth, while negativity drains your energy. These aren't just cheerleaders. They're individuals who challenge you, celebrate you, and push you toward your best self, not your ego. He advises seeking those who uplift and pruning those who pull you down, not out of judgment, but to nurture your mental soil. This choice isn't always easy, but it's essential, creating a circle that reinforces your aspirations and reflects the reality you want to build. Consider Javier, a carpenter in his early 30s, who dreams of opening his own workshop. His current crew is a mixed bag. Some joke endlessly, dismissing his ideas. "You're dreaming too big, man." Their negativity seeps in. Javier thinks, maybe they're right, and shelves his plans. At home, his brother nags about real jobs, dimming his spark further. One day, Javier hears Malcolm's advice on a podcast and reflects, "Who's lifting me up?" He notices a quiet coworker, Miguel, who always asks about his sketches, offering thoughtful tips. Javier starts lunching with Miguel, soaking in his encouragement. Miguel introduces him to a local makers group, craftspeople who share tools, ideas, positivity. At first, Javier feels out of place, but their belief in his vision, "You've got this," shifts his thoughts. "I can do this." He distances himself from the naysayers, not cutting them off harshly, but prioritizing the group. Inspired, Javier builds a small workbench at home, takes on custom orders, and saves for his shop. Within 2 years, he's running a part-time business, his reality thriving, not because he escaped his crew, but because he chose a circle that fueled his growth. Javier's journey reflects Malcolm's truth. Positive influences aren't just nice. They're vital, shaping your thoughts to mirror your potential, not your doubts. Self-love builds your inner strength, while positive influences amplify it outward. Aisha's story shows how accepting yourself with kindness rewires your thoughts, creating a reality of confidence and connection. Javier's experience reveals how surrounding yourself with upliftment turns dreams into action, proving that your environment echoes your mindset. Malcolm's wisdom ties these together. To become what you think, you must root yourself in worthiness and grow with those who see your light. Pause and reflect on your own meadow. What do you say to yourself, like Aisha's old critiques? Could you whisper one kind word instead? And who's around you? Like Javier's crew, do they dim or brighten your path? Malcolm's message is clear. You don't need to be flawless to begin. Aisha wasn't fixed. She chose love, step by step. Javier didn't need a perfect team. He found a few who believed. Your thoughts and circle are your soil, ready to nourish what's next. These chapters are an invitation to embrace yourself and your world. Aisha reshaped her reality by speaking worth into her heart. Javier built his dream by choosing voices that lifted him. Wherever you are, you can start with one gentle thought, one supportive friend, and watch your reality bloom into a life that reflects your truest, brightest self. Chapter 21. Consistency and Commitment to Change. Malcolm opens with a powerful truth. Transformation hinges on consistency and commitment, relentless choices that turn fleeting thoughts into enduring realities. Consistency is the compass, keeping your thoughts focused amid life's storms, while commitment is the bedrock, your pledge to stay the course even when resistance looms. He likens consistent thoughts to a river carving a canyon, slow, steady, unstoppable. This isn't about perfection. It's about progress, celebrating small victories and learning from stumbles. Malcolm warns of resistance, those inner voices of doubt, but urges us to see it as a sign of growth, a challenge to push through with daily dedication. Picture Sophia, a freelance writer in her 30s, who dreams of publishing a novel. She started countless drafts, but her thoughts waver. "I'll never finish," or it's not good enough. These doubts derail her. She writes sporadically, then quits when inspiration fades. One day, Sophia's editor shares Malcolm's ideas about consistency. Inspired, she commits 30 minutes of writing daily, no matter what. She visualizes her book on shelves, feeling the pride, and sets a small goal, 500 words a day. Resistance hits hard. This is trash, her mind whispers after a weak paragraph. But Sophia reframes it. I'm growing, not failing. She keeps going, tracking her progress in a notebook, some days brilliant, others messy. She celebrates finishing a chapter, learns from flat scenes. Over months, the habit sticks. Resistance fades as pages pile up. A year later, Sophia submits her manuscript to a publisher, accepted after revisions. Not because she's a genius, but because she wrote every day, her commitment carving a novel from doubt. Sophia's story shows Malcolm's point. Consistency builds momentum, and commitment turns thoughts into tangible change, even when the seas get rough. Chapter 22. Integrating learned principles into daily life. Malcolm shifts to the art of living these principles, positive thinking, mindfulness, gratitude, not as occasional tools, but as daily threads woven into your routine. Malcolm emphasizes that transformation isn't a trick you pull out for big moments. It's a mindset you cultivate every day. He suggests practical habits. Start with optimism, practice presence, journal your thoughts, be patient with setbacks. These aren't grand overhauls. They're small shifts that, over time, reshape your reality into one that reflects your highest intentions. It's about making your thoughts a living practice, not a distant goal. Consider Raj, a teacher in his 40s, overwhelmed by grading and family demands. His thoughts are a tangle. I'm drowning. I can't do this. This negativity spills over. He's curt with students, distant at home. One night, Raj's wife shares Malcolm's integration ideas, urging him to try. He starts small. Each morning, he picks an optimistic thought, I'll find a way today, and says it aloud, feeling it. He adds mindfulness, pausing midday to breathe, noticing stress without chasing it. At night, he journals, 3 gratitudes, a student's question, a warm dinner, a quiet moment, and one reflection. I rushed a lesson, slow down tomorrow. At first, it's awkward. His mind resists, old habits tug. But Raj persists, celebrating when he stays calm during a hectic class, adjusting when he snaps. Over months, these habits weave in. He's present with students, patient at home, even launches a tutoring side project. His reality shifts, not because life eased, but because he lived his thoughts daily, threading them into every hour. Raj's journey reflects Malcolm's truth. Integrating principles isn't a one-off. It's a daily dance, building a reality that mirrors your chosen mindset, step by steady step. Consistency and commitment propel you forward, while daily integration keeps you on course. Sophia's story shows how sticking to a thought, writing daily, turns a dream into a book, proving that small, repeated efforts overcome resistance. Raj's experience reveals how weaving positivity, mindfulness, and gratitude into routines reshapes a chaotic life into one of purpose, showing that transformation lives in the everyday. Malcolm's wisdom ties these together. To become what you think, you must hold fast and live fully, making every day a brushstroke on your canvas. Pause and reflect on your own voyage. What dream, like Sophia's novel, could you commit to with one daily step? And what habit, like Raj's journaling, could you weave in to shift your lens? Malcolm's message is clear. You don't need a perfect journey to start. Sophia wasn't a bestseller. She wrote through doubt. Raj wasn't calm by nature. He practiced it. Your thoughts are your wind, your actions your rudder, ready to steer you now. These chapters are a call to stay steady and live intentionally. Sophia built her reality by writing every day, her commitment unwavering. Raj reshaped his world by threading new thoughts into each moment. Wherever you are, you can choose one small action, one mindful pause, and watch your reality sail toward the horizon you envision, steady and true. Chapter 23. Achieving Work-Life Balance. Malcolm opens with a common struggle, the tug-of-war between work and life, where stress often tips the scales. He argues that balance starts in the mind. How you think about your time shapes how you live it. Instead of dwelling on deadlines or exhaustion, reframe them as opportunities for growth and set boundaries to protect your well-being. Malcolm suggests conscious shifts. Visualize success in both spheres, prioritize health with breaks, and say no when overwhelmed. It's not about splitting hours evenly. It's about aligning your thoughts with a life that feels whole, not fractured. This mental pivot, paired with action, creates a reality where work fuels purpose and life breathes joy. Picture Clara, a marketing coordinator in her early 30s, drowning in her job's demands. Late nights crafting campaigns leave her drained, her thoughts a loop of, "I can't keep up," and "I'm neglecting my family." She misses dinners with her partner, skips workouts, and feels guilty either way. One day, Clara's friend shares Malcolm's balance ideas. She starts reframing. Instead of, "I'm swamped," she thinks, "I'm learning to manage." She visualizes leaving work on time, cooking with her partner, feeling energized. To match this, Clara sets a boundary, no emails after 7 p.m., and takes a lunch walk, breathing deeply. Resistance creeps in. "They'll think I'm slacking," but she persists, communicating her limits to her boss, who respects her clarity. Slowly, Clara's evenings return, shared meals, laughter, and at work, she's sharper, pitching ideas with focus. Within months, she's promoted, not despite her balance, but because her steady thoughts and actions create a life that thrives in both worlds. Clara's story shows Malcolm's truth. Balance isn't external. It's a mindset that aligns your thoughts with a reality where work and life lift each other up. Chapter 24. Sharing your transformative journey. Malcolm shifts outward, urging us to share our growth, not for validation, but to reflect, understand, and inspire. Malcolm explains that expressing your journey, through writing, speaking, or any form, deepens your grasp of how thoughts shape your reality. It's a mirror and a beacon. You see your own patterns, and others find light in your story. This isn't about bearing every detail. It's about opening up your process, your setbacks, and your victories, embracing vulnerability as strength. Malcolm suggests starting small, sharing with a friend or a journal, trusting that your voice matters in the collective weave of transformation. Consider Tarek, a mechanic in his late 30s, who's turned his life around after years of feeling stuck. Once bogged down by "nothing works out," he's now running a thriving repair shop, thanks to gratitude and persistence. Tarek keeps his journey private, too shy, he thinks, to share. But one day, a customer, noticing his calm amid a busy day, asks, "How do you stay so steady?" Tarek hesitates, then recalls Malcolm's sharing advice from a book his sister gave him. He starts small, telling the customer about his shift from despair to daily gratitudes, listing a fixed car, a kind word. The customer's eyes light up, asking more. Encouraged, Tarek joins a local business group, sharing his story at a meeting. The lean years, the mindset change, the slow build. His vulnerability, admitting failures, resonates. A member offers a partnership, boosting his shop. Tarek starts a blog, simple posts about his days and lessons. Readers comment, inspired to try gratitude themselves. His reality grows, not just in business, but in connection, because he shared how his thoughts transformed him. Tarek's journey reflects Malcolm's point. Sharing isn't boasting. It's a gift that clarifies your path and lights others, weaving your growth into a wider story. Balance aligns your inner worlds. Sharing extends your transformation outward. Clara's story shows how reframing work-life stress and acting with intention creates a reality of fulfillment, proving thoughts can harmonize your days. Tarek's experience reveals sharing as a tool to deepen your own change while inspiring others, building a reality enriched by community. Malcolm's wisdom ties these together. To become what you think, you must balance your life with purpose and share your journey with courage. Pause and reflect on your own crossroads. Where do your thoughts tip the scales, like Clara's stress? Could you reframe one task, set one boundary? And what part of your journey, like Tarek's shift, could you share, however small, to see it anew? Malcolm's message is clear. You don't need perfection to begin. Clara wasn't superhuman. She chose balance, one walk at a time. Tarek wasn't a writer. He spoke, one story at a time. Your thoughts are your compass, your voice your thread, ready to shape now. These chapters are a call to align and connect. Clara built a balanced reality by thinking wholeness into her days. Tarek wove a richer life by sharing his transformation. Wherever you are, you can shift one thought, tell one truth, and watch your reality harmonize and ripple, reflecting the purposeful, connected person you're becoming. As we close You Become What You Think, Malcolm leaves us with a truth. Your mind is your greatest tool. Every thought is a seed, every choice a step toward the life you envision. This book isn't a quick fix. It's a lifelong practice of awareness, courage, and love. So, plant your seeds wisely, nurture them with consistency, and watch your reality bloom into something extraordinary. Thank you for joining me on this journey. I hope that you've enjoyed this video, and please remember to subscribe to receive notification of upcoming recordings. See you in next video.